Ever imagine sitting down?
To a hearty plate of elephant.
Elephant.
Yeah, it sounds crazy.
Yeah.
Right. But that was the reality. For our subject today, Jacques Hadamard. During the 1870s siege of Paris. Talk about a wild childhood.
Wow.
And yet, this is the same guy whose work echoes in fields like quantum computing.
Yeah, it's a fascinating journey. From elephant stew to say, the Hadamard Gate in quantum computing. It shows how deeply intertwined history, human resilience, and pure mathematics can be.
Speaking of intertwining, our main source for this deep dive is from Quantum Formalism. And listeners, they've got courses for those keen on AI, quantum mechanics, you name it. Use the code HadamardGate if you're interested in their abstract linear algebra course. A little something to pique your curiosity as we dive in.
And dive in we should, right into the thick of 19th century Paris, a city under siege. Not exactly the romantic image that comes to mind.
Not at all. This wasn't just about baguettes and the Eiffel Tower. This was a city struggling for survival. And it's against this backdrop that young Jacques is grappling with. Well, not math, at least not initially.
It's tempting to think of mathematical geniuses as springing forth fully formed. But Hadamard's early struggles with the subject make his later achievements even more remarkable.
So we have a kid acing Greek and Latin, but math, not so much. His dad, Amédée, was a teacher, and they ended up at the prestigious Lycée Louis-le-Grand. I can only imagine the pressure of being the teacher's kid at a school like that, especially when you're not naturally gifted in your parent's subject.
And it seems young Jacques wasn't the only one feeling the pressure. The document mentions Amédée's teaching career wasn't exactly stellar. It paints a picture of a family under strain, navigating not just the external pressures of war and its aftermath, but also internal struggles.
It makes you wonder how these early experiences shaped him. Did those struggles, that pressure to live up to expectations, contribute to the tenacity he'd later display in his mathematical pursuits?
It's certainly possible the need to prove himself to overcome those early setbacks might have fueled his drive. But regardless of the reason, Hadamard's journey takes a decisive turn when he discovers his passion for mathematics, eventually testing into not one, but two of France's most elite institutions, École Polytechnique and École Normale Supérieure.
Talk about pressure. He chose the latter, a breeding ground for mathematical giants, rubbing shoulders with the likes of Jules Tannery and Émile Picard. What I find fascinating is that his early research wasn't about some esoteric branch of math. He dove headfirst into the world of power series,
Which, despite sounding intimidating, are really about understanding the building blocks of functions. Imagine dissecting a complex machine down to its gears and springs. That's what analyzing power series allows mathematicians to do with functions.
Okay, I'm starting to get a feel for his style. He takes these seemingly abstract concepts and breaks them down, figures out how they pick. But it wasn't all equations and theorems. He also dabbled in teaching, right?
He did. He spent some time teaching in high schools. But according to our sources, it wasn't his forte, at least not initially. Even mathematical geniuses have to work at their craft, and teaching is no exception. It seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? That someone who would go on to shape mathematical thought struggled to convey those ideas to young minds.
It's a good reminder that even the brightest minds have their strengths and weaknesses. But speaking of strengths, let's talk about that pivotal year, 1892. A doctorate marriage to fellow music enthusiast Louise Anna, and the Grand Prix de Sciences Mathématiques all in 1 year. Talk about hitting your stride.
That Grand Prix win is particularly noteworthy. He tackled a problem that had stumped mathematicians for decades, proving the prime number theorem.
Now, prime numbers themselves seem pretty straightforward. What made this theorem such a challenge?
It wasn't about identifying prime numbers, but rather understanding their distribution. Imagine trying to predict how often a prime number will pop up as you move along the number line. Seems random, right?
Yeah.
But the prime number theorem offers a way to estimate that distribution with remarkable accuracy.
And this is where Hadamard's work on zeta functions comes in.
Precisely. Zeta functions are like mathematical lenses that reveal hidden patterns in the seemingly chaotic world of prime numbers. Hadamard's genius was in harnessing their power to finally prove this elusive theorem.
So, he cracks the code of prime numbers, wins a prestigious prize, and as if that wasn't enough, he also snags the Boredom Prize for his work on geodesics. I have to admit, geodesics sounds a bit like something out of Star Trek.
Perhaps, but it's far more grounded than you might think. Imagine plotting a course between two cities. You'd likely choose the shortest, most direct route. Geodesics deal with finding the shortest path between 2 points. But on curved surfaces...
So like navigating on a globe instead of a flat map.
Exactly. It's about understanding the geometry of curved spaces. a concept with implications for everything from airplane navigation to Einstein's theory of general relativity.
Suddenly those geodesics don't seem so abstract after all. It seems like Hadamard had a knack for finding the hidden connections between seemingly disparate areas of math.
And it's in Bordeaux where he spends the next 4 years that those connections start leading to truly groundbreaking work. This is where he develops the concept of Hadamard matrices.
The same matrices that pop up in fields like coding theory and even quantum computing.
The very same. It's a testament to the unexpected ways mathematical concepts can ripple through time and disciplines.
So we've got prime numbers, curved spaces, and now matrices with applications in fields that wouldn't exist for decades. What I'm gathering is that Hadamard wasn't afraid to dive into the deep end of mathematics, exploring those areas that might seem abstract, but ultimately hold the keys to unlocking deeper truths about our world.
That's a keen observation. And his return to Paris in 1897 marks a new chapter in his exploration. He takes on prestigious appointments at the Sorbonne and the Collège de France, solidifying his position as a leading figure in the world of mathematics.
From struggling teacher to renowned professor at France's most esteemed institutions, that's quite a journey.
It speaks to his dedication, his willingness to refine his craft, and his passion for sharing his knowledge with the next generation of mathematicians. It's during this period that he publishes his influential Leçons de géométrie élémentaire, shaping math education in France for years to come.
It's remarkable how he went from those early teaching struggles to leaving such a profound mark on pedagogy.
It shows a willingness to learn and adapt, a hallmark of any great mind. But his contributions extended far beyond the classroom. He dove deeper into the world of partial differential equations, bringing his signature rigor and insight to this challenging field.
It's interesting how a common thread seems to run through all his work. This drive to uncover order and structure within complex systems. Whether he's deciphering the distribution of prime numbers, charting paths through curved space, or unraveling the intricacies of partial differential equations, there's a sense that he's searching for those underlying principles that govern our universe.
That's a powerful way to put it, and it's a search that would continue even in the face of unimaginable tragedy.
You're referring to the loss of his two sons during World War I. It's hard to fathom how someone copes with such a profound loss.
Indeed. It's a testament to the resilience of the human spirit that Hadamard continued his work, finding solace and purpose in his mathematical pursuits.
It makes you think about the power of the human mind to find meaning and even beauty in the midst of chaos and loss. And it's during this tumultuous period that he lays the groundwork for a field that would have profound implications for 20th century physics and beyond, functional analysis.
His 1910 publication, Leçons sur le calcul des variations, is considered a foundational text in the development of functional analysis.
So we've gone from prime numbers and geodesics to something called functional analysis. For those of us who aren't mathematicians, what exactly is functional analysis and why is it so important?
Imagine shifting your perspective from individual numbers and equations to studying spaces where each point represents an entire function.
So instead of analyzing a single number, you're analyzing an entire equation as a single entity.
You're catching on quickly. It's about studying functions as points in a space, much like we think of points in regular geometry. This approach allows mathematicians to tackle problems in quantum mechanics, signal processing, and numerous other fields.
It sounds like Hadamard had a knack for developing tools that unlocked solutions in fields he couldn't have possibly envisioned.
It speaks to the interconnectedness of knowledge and the enduring power of fundamental mathematical principles. What might seem like an abstract pursuit can lay the foundation for future breakthroughs in seemingly unrelated areas.
Which brings us to the latter part of Hadamard's life, a time marked by international acclaim and continued contributions to diverse mathematical fields. And of course, we can't forget the namesake that ties him to our very source material, the Hadamard gate in quantum computing. It's almost poetic, don't you think?
It does have a certain symmetry to it. This man who lived through extraordinary times and experienced both profound loss and remarkable achievement continues to influence a field that is in many ways still in its infancy.
From the siege of Paris and those early struggles with math to groundbreaking contributions that reverberate in quantum computing today, it's a story that really makes you think about the unpredictable paths knowledge can take.
Absolutely. And it underscores a point we often emphasize at quantum formalism. Seemingly abstract mathematical concepts can hold the key to unlocking future technologies.
It's like Hadamard laid the groundwork for a building he couldn't even fathom.
And what a building it is! Quantum computing, with its potential to revolutionize fields from medicine to materials science, owes a debt to Hadamard's pioneering work in functional analysis.
It's mind-boggling when you think about it. Here's a guy who was grappling with the loss of his sons during a world war, yet his mind was still pushing the boundaries of mathematics in a way that would shape the future.
It speaks to the enduring power of the human spirit and the profound impact a single mind can have on the world.
Our source from quantum formalism mentions the Hadamard gate as this fundamental concept in quantum computing. For someone who dedicated his life to exploring the intricacies of numbers, it's quite a legacy.
It is a fitting tribute to a life spent unraveling mathematical truths. The Hadamard gate, with its ability to manipulate quantum information, stands as a testament to his enduring impact on a field he could have scarcely imagined.
It makes you wonder what he would make of it all. Quantum computers performing calculations at speeds that defy our current understanding, all thanks in part to his work.
One can only speculate, but I'd like to think he'd find a certain poetic justice in it all. The same mathematical principles he championed, often considered abstract in his time, now driving a technological revolution.
It's a good reminder that the pursuit of knowledge, even in its purest and seemingly most abstract forms, can have unforeseen and far-reaching consequences.
Precisely. Hadamard's life and work serve as a powerful testament to the interconnectedness of knowledge and the enduring power of the human mind to shape the future.
So to our listeners, if you're ever feeling lost in the weeds of some complex problem, remember Jacques Hadamard. He faced his share of challenges, yet he never stopped searching for those underlying truths, those elegant equations that govern our universe. His story is a testament to the power of perseverance, the beauty of unexpected connections, and the lasting legacy of a life dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge. Who knows, maybe you'll be the next one to unlock a discovery that echoes through time.
And if you're eager to embark on your own journey of mathematical discovery, remember to check out the courses offered by Quantum Formalism. You can explore the fascinating world of abstract linear algebra, and don't forget to use the code HadamardGate for a special discount. Who knows, you might even find yourself inspired to delve deeper into the captivating world of Hadamard matrices.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive into the life and work of Jacques Hadamard. We hope you found it as enriching and thought-provoking as we did. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and never underestimate the power of a single idea to change the world.